Since we talked about morality and we talked about the Indian perception and the Indian view of morality, it is but natural that we talk about something that is even more contentious, and that is the topic of karma, or what people construe or misconstrue as erotica, or So, could you throw some light on what karma really means? And in continuation, since you are an expert, you have an expertise on the Kama Sutra, dispel some notions that people have about Kama Sutra being a book of pornography, especially Islamic and Christian view of the book being nothing but pulp fiction.
Yes, they think of Kama Sutra as gymnastics for sexual, gymnastics for sexual intercourse. Now, that of course is a very limited view of looking at just one chapter of the Kama Shastra, just a very, very physical thing, and extremely small portion.
It's only one chapter.
Only one chapter and small portion. And Kama Sutra is about sexual life, but in India, sexuality or sexual life or sex, or what now the West calls sex, and what the ancient Greeks used to call eros, love, eros, which was the physical as well as the mental as well as the spiritual desire. So the idea of karma is very profound. You see, the Nasadiya Sukta, which describes about how creation came into being, or how the world or the cosmos was created, it says that there was a will, a wish, a karma, a desire, which led to the formation of this universe. So the fundamental force of creation, not just of procreation, but creation of every kind, is karma. And in the Indian system, we talk of the four aims of life, or rather the four modes of life. And they are dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Earlier, they were only defined as three: dharma, artha, and kama. Moksha was considered part of dharma. So, kama is very important. Kama is a purushartha. That is what a person, purush here means not male, but it is male or female or hermaphrodite, all three genders. Kama means desire which leads to creation. And it is a purushartha, or it is a pursuit, a great pursuit. So it's a fundamental thing along with dharma. Dharma, kama, and artha, they all three sustain each other. Right. It is not possible that there can be a society or a fulfilling life for an individual without kama. Now, I have lectures on the videos, several videos on the Kama Sutra, and people can go to my YouTube channel and see them. They are there, mostly in English, but some in Hindi also. So I have given a whole description of the ancient life of desire. Now here I'd like to summarize the whole concept of Kama. In India, the idea of Kama can be seen at four stages. There is fulfillment of Kama at the physical sense, at the level of the body, at the level of fondling and sexual intercourse and all the kinds of pleasure that it provides, and it has to be without any guilt. Unlike Christian, old Christian paradigm, indulgence in sex is something beautiful. And it is something which is to be conducted between man and woman with mutual respect, love, and affection.
Right.
It is not a domination of the male over the female. You just have to read the Kama Sutra and great Indian literature and poetry to verify that. So that is one aspect. Then the second aspect of Kama is to have a sexual relationship in the form of marriage, which is for the sake of making a social unit of family. Where you have to procreate, where you have to raise children, where you have to make able citizens, where you have to do things in which skills and sciences and arts are passed over to the next generation. So that is the social aspect of Kama, which is the family, the marriage. The purpose of marriage is not individual satisfaction or meeting of two minds or two bodies, as has been the romantic ideal since Romanticism came into being in the 17th century in Europe, Shelley and all this.
Yes.
So that is the second. Now the third is Kama or desire or sexuality as associated with arts. Shringar.
Shringar.
So it is associated with poetry, with dance, with music, with all kinds of natya and art, and also with sexual relationship outside marriage with a courtesan or with a lover within certain defined social norms which were observed in ancient India, but about which we have no idea today and which are not part of our morality. So this was the third level of association of Kama or sexual desire or eros with aesthetics, with rasa, with beauty. And then there is the fourth level, which is that Kama is the strongest of desires in the form of rati or desire or longing. And this longing then goes beyond the longing for a sexual partner or a human partner, and it seeks the divine as a partner. So that is the fourth level where it becomes bhakti, where it becomes worship of the divine, surrender to the divine. So these are the four levels. The physical level, which is the subject partly the subject of Kama Sutra, because Kama Sutra is not just about man, woman's physical satisfaction. It's also about arts. It's also about social norms. It's also about marriage, family, rules of family, kinds of marriage, and mutual respect, and many things which make life artistic.
Right.
It is about almost everything bringing you right to the door of pursuit of the highest goal in life, which is looking to the divine through Kama, where Kama becomes a door to the divine. Because
So there is
a door to the divine.
There is a chapter on bhakti also in Kama Sutra, Bharatji?
No, there is no chapter on bhakti or any chapter which talks about the pursuit of the spiritual in Kama Shastra. Kama Shastra stops at the first three levels.
First 3 lines.
The physical, which is the chapter, the Samprayogic, and then the social, which talks about marriage, which talks about how to choose a bride, what are kinds of marriages, how to have what is now called love marriage, but which was called Gandharva Vivaha, and how Gandharva Vivaha is a legal, justifiable, desirable form of marriage, and how it can be done sometimes even without the consent of the parents, and how it is legal. Kama Sutra is talking about all that. It is talking about patronage to arts, patronage to poetry, dance, music, to musicians. So, association of sexuality, man woman relationship with the arts, and uh, sexual relationships beyond marriage. That is, relationship with the courtesan, because there was the whole institute of the courtesan in which men could go and have a sexual relationship with the courtesan, who was not there to provide only physical satisfaction, but aesthetic satisfaction.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.